Welcome to my channel Pocket Change Coins, because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, we're taking a journey over a century into the past to explore one of the most iconic and desirable pieces in American numismatics, the 1917 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This isn't just any old copper coin. This is a treasure steeped in U.S. history, minted during the early days of the 20th century, at a time when the world was in the throes of World War I. If you're a collector, a coin enthusiast, or someone just discovering the thrill of finding hidden value in old change, this is a coin you're going to want to know all about. The 1917 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which was known for lower mintages and excellent strike quality during that time. What makes this coin so significant is not only its age, but the era it represents. America was entering the First World War, and the country's industries, including the U.S. Mint, were working around the clock to support the national effort. Coins like the 1917 weren't just currency, they were symbols of a resilient, rapidly growing nation. Holding one in your hand today is like holding a direct link to history. While the 1917 had a decent mintage for the time, finding one today in superb condition with strong details is a serious challenge. That's because most of these coins were heavily circulated. They were used in everyday transactions for years, meaning that many of them show significant wear and tear. But here's the exciting part: when you do find one of these pennies in exceptional shape, especially with unique errors or minting anomalies, it becomes an incredibly rare and highly valuable find. That's what makes the hunt so thrilling for collectors around the world. One of the most valuable versions of the 1917 Lincoln Wheat Penny includes the double die obverse error. This error occurred when the die struck the coin more than once in a slightly different position, creating visible doubling on elements like the date and the inscriptions, Liberty and In God We Trust. This doubling can be seen with the naked eye in strong examples, and it instantly elevates the coin's appeal to collectors. A 1917 with a clear double die is an elite-level piece that sparks bidding wars in numismatic circles. Another feature to keep your eyes peeled for is the presence of repunched mint marks, known in the collecting world as RPMs. Since the mint mark was applied by hand back then, mistakes happened, and some coins ended up with overlapping or doubled marks under magnification. These small quirks might seem minor, but in the world of coin collecting, they can make a massive difference in value. RPMs are prized for their uniqueness, and on a key date like 1917, they are even more desirable. There are also examples of die cracks and die breaks on some 1917 pennies. These occur when the minting die begins to deteriorate, resulting in raised lines or bumps on the coin's surface. Far from being flaws, these errors are seen as character marks that make a coin truly one of a kind. A coin with a visible die crack in an appealing pattern can command significantly more than a standard example, especially when paired with high grade and clean surfaces. Now, let's talk about grade and condition, which play an absolutely critical role in a coin's value. Most 1917 pennies that survive today are in low to mid-grade condition due to their heavy use in circulation. But once you start looking at examples in grades like fine, very fine, and especially extremely fine to mint state, the population shrinks dramatically. And the value? It skyrockets. A 1917 penny with full wheat stalk details, minimal contact marks, and a rich chocolate brown or even red-brown tone can catch the eye of any serious collector. When a coin is graded by PCGS or NGC and earns a designation like MS-63 or higher, it becomes a prize-worthy piece that demands attention in any auction room. Speaking of auctions, the 1917 Lincoln Wheat Penny has already made waves in recent years. High-grade examples with strong strikes and rare errors have been featured at major coin shows and online platforms, where bidding escalates quickly. Collectors know just how difficult it is to find a coin like this in exceptional condition, especially with added rarities. That's why demand continues to rise, and with it, the potential value of this historic penny keeps climbing higher. Now for the part that excites every collector's heart: just how much can a 1917 Lincoln wheat penny be worth in today's market? Well, in one astonishing auction, a nearly flawless example featuring a bold double die error and pristine red-brown surfaces sold for an unbelievable $150,000. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny, minted over a century ago, now valued at $150,000 due to its condition, rarity, and historical significance. That's the kind of discovery that turns coin collectors into legends, so if you've got a 1917 penny in your collection, especially one with an S mint mark, it's time to take a closer look. Get out that magnifying glass, examine the details, and check for any doubling, unusual mint marks, or signs of age that could indicate something truly special. And if you think you found something rare, don't keep it to yourself, share your find in the comments below, or ask your questions about grading and identification. We're here to help you explore, learn, and maybe even strike gold in your very own collection. Second rare coin, we're turning the spotlight onto one of the most exciting pieces from mid-20th century American coinage, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. That small copper coin you've seen 100 times before might be far more special than you realize. This isn't just any old cent, it's a powerful combination of wartime history, minting precision, and hidden rarity that makes it a prized possession in the world of numismatics. Minted at the Denver Mint during the final year of World War II, the 1945 wheat penny is more than a coin, it's a living piece of history. America was celebrating the end of a global conflict, and coins from this era represent strength, perseverance, and national pride. Millions were minted to meet growing economic demand, but not all were created equal. Some were struck with such fine detail and preserved so well that today, they're considered absolute masterpieces. And others? They contain rare, valuable minting errors that can push their worth into the stratosphere. One of the most incredible things about the 1945 Lincoln penny is the possibility of minting anomalies. These errors, often invisible to the untrained eye, are what truly set rare coins apart. One of the most sought after is the double die obverse, where the coin was struck more than once in slightly misaligned positions. This creates a noticeable doubling on the date, lettering like Liberty, or the words, "In God We Trust." The doubling can be faint or dramatic, and collectors go wild for strong, well-centered examples. If your 1945 has this error, especially in mint state condition, it's a serious contender for big value. Another rare and desirable feature is the repunched mint mark, or RPM. During this period, mint marks were applied by hand, and sometimes the D was punched more than once, slightly off from the original position. These overlapping or shadowed Ds are not printing defects, they're minting treasures. A 1945 penny with a bold repunched mint mark, especially one with strong strike details and full luster, is exactly the kind of piece serious collectors will pay top dollar to own. And let's not forget about off-center strikes or broad strikes, where the coin wasn't aligned properly in the press. These mistakes result in coins that are missing part of their design or have extra space around the edges. On a modern coin, it might not raise eyebrows, but on a 1945 penny, it instantly raises its rarity and collector appeal. These types of errors are not only extremely collectible, they're conversation starters and auction favorites that regularly draw attention from bidders across the globe. Condition, of course, plays a massive role in determining the coin's value. Most 1945 pennies that exist today were heavily circulated, showing wear and discoloration from years of use. But when you find one in mint state, meaning it was never used in daily commerce and has retained its original color and sharpness, the value shoots up dramatically. Collectors prize coins that still have their original red copper luster, clean surfaces, and no visible scratches or contact marks. If your coin is graded MS-65 or higher by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, you're looking at something truly exceptional. Recent auctions have only confirmed how valuable this coin can be. In multiple cases, 1945 pennies with rare errors and top-tier grades have sold for jaw-dropping prices. Collectors understand the significance of the year, the limited nature of certain varieties, and the extreme difficulty in finding one that checks all the right boxes. When a 1945 D penny appears at auction with a dramatic double die, repunched mint mark, and pristine condition, it doesn't last long on the market. The demand is strong, and the competition among buyers is fierce. What's more exciting is the fact that these coins are still out there. They could be hiding in old change jars, inherited collections, or even tucked away in antique shop drawers, just waiting to be discovered. With the right tools, a magnifying glass, a good light source, and a bit of knowledge, you could be the next lucky person to uncover a rare 1945 D Lincoln wheat penny. And if you do, you might just find yourself holding one of the most valuable small coins in circulation history. So, how much could a rare and perfectly preserved 1945 D wheat penny be worth today? Are you ready for this? In one unforgettable case, a stunning example featuring a dramatic double die obverse, clean surfaces, and rich red luster sold at auction for an incredible $100,000. That's right, $100,000 for a coin most people overlook as just another penny. It goes to show that with patience, curiosity, and a little bit of luck, something as small as a 1-cent coin can unlock a life-changing discovery. Third expensive coin, we're diving deep into the world of the legendary Lincoln wheat penny, focusing on a very special year, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny. At first glance, this coin might look like just another cent from mid-century America, but don't be fooled, there's a lot more value hiding in this little piece of copper than most people realize. Get ready for a fascinating journey through history, rarity, and hidden wealth. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny came out during a time of great optimism in America. The Second World War was behind us, the economy was growing rapidly, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins to meet the needs of a booming population. But even during times of mass production, not every coin is created equal. That's what makes collecting these coins so exciting. Even among billions of ordinary pennies, there are a few that stand out due to condition, unusual characteristics, and historical importance, and the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is a perfect example. What gives this coin its appeal isn't just the design, although the iconic wheat reverse and Lincoln obverse continue to charm collectors around the world. It's the combination of its age, condition, and the special minting errors that make this specific year one to watch very closely. The 1950 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While all 3 versions have their own unique qualities, certain error varieties from this year, especially from Denver and San Francisco, have been known to dramatically increase in value when discovered in top-grade condition. One of the most exciting things about the 1950 wheat penny is the possibility of finding rare mint errors. These aren't just little quirks, they're the kind of mistakes that transform a coin from common to collectible in an instant. For example, the double die obverse error is one of the most coveted. This happens when the coin is struck more than once by a misaligned die, creating a noticeable doubling in the words like "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or the date itself. If you come across a 1950 penny with strong doubling in these areas, you might just be holding something extremely rare and valuable. Another key error that boosts value is the repunched mint mark, often abbreviated as RPM. This occurs when the mint mark, like the small d or s under the date, was accidentally punched more than once, slightly off position. On a 1950 penny, a visible RPM can make all the difference when it comes to rarity and worth. These small details may require a magnifying glass or loupe to see, but once spotted, they can elevate your coin into an elite category almost instantly. Collectors actively search for RPMs, especially when paired with an otherwise pristine example. Let's not forget about off-center strikes, which occur when the blank coin wasn't correctly aligned in the press. The result is a penny that looks unusual, with part of the design shifted or missing. A dramatic off-center strike from 1950 is a true showpiece and can command attention and top dollar at auctions. These types of mint errors are not just collectible, they're conversation starters that make any collection instantly more valuable and interesting. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting, and this applies tenfold to the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny. Most of the coins you'll find from this year have been well circulated, showing wear on the high points, dulled surfaces, and faded detail. But when you find a 1950 penny in mint state, with full original luster, no signs of wear, and crisp, clear features, you're looking at a much more valuable piece. Coins graded MS-65 and above are highly sought after, especially when they contain one of the rare minting errors mentioned earlier. These coins become investment-grade assets, not just collectibles. In recent years, we've seen more and more collectors and investors turn their attention to Lincoln cents from the 1940s and 1950s, and the 1950 penny continues to gain attention at major coin shows and auctions. With the market heating up for rare error coins and high-grade examples, this humble penny has surprised many by reaching eye-popping prices under the hammer. In some notable auctions, 1950 wheat pennies with dramatic double dies or pristine red coloring have generated intense bidding wars and earned their owners a significant return. What makes the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny so exciting is that it's still accessible, still hiding in collections, and still waiting to be discovered. You don't have to dig through gold bars or vaults to find value. You might just need to look in your change jar or your grandparents' old keepsake box. And with the knowledge you now have about what makes these pennies valuable, you're already one step ahead of the game. Now here's the moment you've been waiting for. Just how much could a rare 1950 Lincoln wheat penny be worth? In one standout auction, a flawless example featuring a bold double die error and vibrant red luster sold for a staggering $87,000. Yes, you heard that right, $87,000 for a penny that could have once been used to buy bubble gum. That's the magic of coin collecting, where passion, history, and rarity collide to create unbelievable value. Especially, we're stepping back in time to explore one of the most captivating and historically rich coins in American numismatics, the United States Lincoln wheat penny from the 1940s. These pennies are more than just small copper discs, they're tiny time capsules from a pivotal decade that shaped the course of history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just discovering the thrill of rare coins, this video is for you. Sit tight, because we're about to unravel the incredible value and fascinating details behind the 1940s Lincoln wheat penny that every enthusiast should know about. The 1940s were a remarkable period in U.S. history. From the tumultuous years of World War II to the hopeful post-war boom, the Lincoln wheat penny quietly circulated through the hands of millions. Minted during a time when copper was a critical wartime material, these coins represent more than currency. They symbolize resilience, sacrifice, and the enduring spirit of America. What makes the 1940s Lincoln wheat penny truly stand out to collectors is its historical significance combined with rarity, especially in pristine condition. Coins from this era are in very high demand because they tell stories from one of the most dynamic decades in the 20th century. Collectors know that the 1940s pennies come with a variety of fascinating mint errors and unique features that can skyrocket their value. One of the most sought-after characteristics is the double die error, where the letters or numbers on the coin appear double due to a misalignment during the minting process. On a 1940s Lincoln wheat penny, spotting doubling on the date or on key inscriptions like "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" is like discovering hidden treasure. These doubling effects can be subtle or dramatic, but either way, they turn a common penny into a rare collectible that serious collectors actively hunt for. Another intriguing feature that adds to the rarity of 1940s Lincoln wheat pennies is the repunched mint mark or RPM. This occurs when the mint mark, such as the D for Denver or S for San Francisco, is stamped more than once in slightly different positions. This small but distinct feature is a hallmark of genuine rarity and adds significant premium to the coin's value. RPMs from the 1940s, especially those found on pennies in exceptional condition, can fetch impressive prices because they are well documented but still rare enough to excite collectors. Condition plays a crucial role when it comes to the value of these pennies. Most 1940s Lincoln wheat pennies you find in circulation show signs of wear, corrosion, or discoloration due to their age and the materials used. However, when a coin from this era is preserved in mint state condition, with sharp details, original coppery red color, and no signs of wear, it becomes a jewel in any collection. Collectors and investors alike understand the scarcity of such coins, which makes high-grade 1940s pennies extraordinarily valuable and highly sought after at auctions and private sales. Speaking of auctions, the market for these coins has been exceptionally vibrant lately. Recent sales have shown that 1940s Lincoln wheat pennies, particularly those with rare mint errors or superb condition, are commanding record prices. Serious collectors and numismatic investors are competing fiercely for these coins, driving prices steadily upward and confirming the status of the 1940s penny as one of the most desirable and rewarding collectible coins in American history. So, how can you tell if your 1940s Lincoln wheat penny is one of these valuable rarities? Start by examining the date closely, looking for any signs of doubling on the numbers. Next, check the mint mark for any doubling or irregularities. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the coin's surface and edge for off-center strikes or unusual features. Lastly, assess its overall condition. Coins with bright, unblemished surfaces and sharp details will always be the most prized. Here's the exciting part: a rare, high-grade 1940s Lincoln wheat penny with notable mint errors or outstanding preservation recently sold for an astonishing $54,000. That's right, this humble penny from the 1940s can be worth $54,000 or even more when all these special factors come together. It's incredible to think that a small coin, often overlooked, can hold such a remarkable value and continue to captivate collectors worldwide. Last unique coin, we're diving deep into one of the truly fascinating coins in American numismatics, the United States Lincoln wheat penny from 1957. Now, you might think a penny from the late 1950s isn't all that special, but listen closely, because this little 1-cent coin has some extraordinary qualities that make it highly sought after and a treasure for collectors everywhere. Whether you're just starting your collection or are a seasoned expert, understanding the rarity and unique features of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny will open your eyes to just how valuable and exciting this coin can be. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny comes from an era when the U.S. Mint was fine-tuning its coin production with remarkable precision. This coin features the iconic Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the classic wheat ears on the reverse, a design that was used from 1909 all the way until 1958, marking the end of an era in American coinage. What makes the 1957 penny truly stand out is not just its historical significance but the rare minting errors and exceptional conditions in which some specimens have survived. Coins from this year are highly collectible because many of them show unique characteristics that elevate their worth well beyond their face value. One of the most exciting features that can significantly increase the value of a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is the presence of mint errors. For instance, the double die error is a particularly prized anomaly. This occurs when the coin's design is stamped twice with a slight offset, causing the letters and numbers, especially the date and Liberty inscription, to appear doubled. Spotting this kind of error on a 1957 penny immediately puts it in a different league, making it a star in any collection. Collectors are always on the lookout for these rare double-die pennies because they represent a fascinating blend of mint history and error rarity. Another critical factor adding to the 1957 penny's allure is the presence of repunched mint marks or RPMs. This occurs when the mint mark, typically a D for the Denver Mint, was stamped more than once in slightly shifted positions. These RPM varieties are like little secret signatures from the mint that only true collectors and experts recognize and value highly. The subtle shifts in the mint mark make the 1957 penny not just a piece of currency but a collectible artifact, driving demand and raising prices for coins in excellent condition. Speaking of condition, it's important to understand how a coin's preservation can dramatically affect its value. While most pennies from 1957 circulated heavily and show signs of wear, finding one in mint state or uncirculated condition is quite rare and exciting. A coin that has maintained its original luster, crisp details, and sharp strikes without any scratches or discoloration is incredibly valuable to collectors. These pristine 1957 pennies are in extremely high demand because they represent the perfect blend of history and near-perfect preservation. The market for 1957 Lincoln wheat pennies has seen some thrilling moments recently. At auctions, these pennies, especially those with mint errors or those in pristine condition, have attracted serious collectors and investors alike. Recent sales have proven that the 1957 penny is not just a nostalgic relic but a highly desirable collectible commanding impressive prices. These auctions add credibility and excitement to the coin story, showing how valuable and sought after this humble penny has become over time. if you want to identify these valuable pennies in your own collection or when hunting for coins, focus on examining the date carefully for any signs of doubling, and check the mint mark closely for subtle doubling or repunching. Use a magnifying glass to get a clear view of the coin's surface and details, and always assess its overall condition. The better preserved your 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is, the higher its potential value. Now for the exciting reveal: if you happen to own a rare 1957 Lincoln wheat penny in exceptional condition or with notable mint errors, it could be worth an astonishing $30,000. Yes, you heard that right. This small, everyday coin from the 1950s can hold a treasure worth $30,000 in today's collector market. It's a shining example of how even the most common coins can become extraordinary collectibles when rarity, condition, and history combine. So, if you've come across a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny or think you might own one, drop a comment below. Share your story, ask questions, or tell us about your coin hunting adventures. We love hearing from fellow enthusiasts. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the incredible world of rare and valuable coins. Remember, sometimes the smallest pennies can hold the biggest surprises, and the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is proof of that with a remarkable value of $30,000.